So, okay, I took my sources. Go ahead. Taking care and one of them said,
Yeah.
and one of the girls decided, which I'm not doing now, because my husband has to have a big chest. I can see chest, but I don't have time for that. But one of the women I met in chess said, we were talking about pickleball. She said, oh my God, it was my younger than well, you are. It was singing, excellent.
No, but I know how pickleball is. Yeah, I know, but you can just do that. I mean, some
Or two. Usually you look for it this way.
yeah, when they're right.
I was at some party. And she had real curly hair. Now she, oh, not now it's, now she has curly hair. It was short. So I think she was a date of my husband's first cousin.
Oh my God.
So I go home and I bring her the picture. I made a copy of it.
Well, they,
He's got about 15 years. I just signed up for it. I was thinking. Everyone's New York, my mom's oh, they don't go. Well, we have.
It's facing. Right. I just can't watch it. That's all. You can see. Flowers.
Olivia? Таке сприймати.
What you want to do? Just leave it? Yes.
I'll pick it up.
Olivia, show him what time they start? Olivia? They start from 20? Okay, just you will put it on a yeah. Oh. It's gonna yes, stay. Thank you, Mike. Yeah.
He said, you know, when you work in the hallway, you create. I think it's.
Oh,
no. I think
And we do have a register.
You want to sit down? Have a seat, I'll introduce you.
That's my
You're not sure if you'll come.
no, I know I'm here. I am.
the same date. I gotta go look at my. Sorry, I didn't mean to like just space out like her. Just Cindy just sent something to see.
No, I
She was fine. She was fine. She went to hospital.
I have to agree.
I know, but I don't know if
There is a game.
It wasn't intentional.
oh,
Did it bother? She released the hormone.
I find it takes tomorrow.
Did you have a check on the rabbit? So, pardon? Okay. I can move that. Register. It's soon after she starts.
Okay, come on. What?
Well, I mean,
And I'll bring a registered back.
We go to giant. She was really good.
It doesn't say mitzvah. That's interesting. It wasn't at the mitzvah website. It was a different website.
Would you like to sit down here?
She's got her chair.
Are you sure? Yeah.
No, she went to school in jail. She's a first service cancer. No, I picked her up. She hires her. She has a congregation. The school's
Just family.
yes, right. I think that's yes. Correct. Skokie Jim. Yes. I remember.
No, I'm I don't know. Did you get it? 3 o'clock. Oh, okay.
Go.
We're starting the service moments early. Please gather in. And those individuals that be given the honor to act as pallbearers, you can please step to the rear of the hearse.
Usually you have these 3 on each side.
Friends, before we continue with the service, if you have not already turned off your cell phone or put it in the silent mode, if you could kindly take a moment and do that now, that would be appreciated. Thank you so much. And we want to make sure all of you have received a service folder. If you have not, if you can just raise your hand. We will be using it throughout the service. If you don't have one, just raise your hand and one will be given to you. We do have a couple of 3 open chairs, it looks like. So if you'd like to take advantage of the chairs, please do so. I'm Rabbi Nancy Landsman of Congregation Ahavat Olam in Glenview, and I am truly honored to be officiating the service this afternoon for Shirley. I never had the privilege to meet her, and it really would have been an honor and a privilege to have known Shirley. I'm so grateful to you, Daryl, for taking the time that you did to paint a picture of her life as I asked, and to share memories. And several people will be speaking today to share their memories of Shirley. You know, if you knew Shirley, you know how blessed you were to have had her in your life. Our hearts certainly go out to Daryl and to John and to Wendy and Nancy and Juliana and Michael, to the whole family. It means a lot that you're here, and those of you joining us remotely, thank you for being here to lend your love and your respect and just being here to support Daryl and Nancy and Wendy, the whole family. It means a lot that you are here. Your support means so much. We begin the service with the traditional act of Kriya. Many times mourners will make a tear in their clothing, but in lieu of that, Nancy and Daryl, you've been given a black Kriya ribbon pinned over your heart. And it's only children who pin the Kriya ribbon over their heart, because there is no relationship, no bond as unique and special as that between parent and child. If the two of you could just stand right at your place for a moment before making a tear in the ribbon, there are traditional Hebrew words that are said, and I'd like to invite the two of you to repeat these words after me. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Dayan HaEmet. These words mean praise for you, eternal our God, ruler of the universe, judge of truth. From the bottom of the ribbon up towards the circular button, you can tear the ribbon a little or all the way up, however far you'd like. Sometimes the ribbons tear easily, and sometimes they're a little stubborn. And sometimes you can tear it on the side if it doesn't work as well from the bottom. You have a choice to wear this Kriya ribbon only today, or the first week of mourning, or the period of what we call Shaloshim, 30 days. You also have a choice to wear it tucked in the inside, or you can wear it on the outside for others to see. Whatever gives meaning to you, I would hope that if people see you wearing this Kriya torn ribbon, that they'll understand that you are in a period of mourning, and they'll have compassion on you. Please be seated. In learning about Shirley, I've selected a few readings and poems that I felt were fitting for her and for her family. We come to this sacred place drawn by the eternal ties that bind your souls to the soul of your beloved Shirley. I understand Shirley had a terrific sense of humor. Vivian Wade wrote, "A sense of humor is important, as shock absorbers are to a car. It helps to get over rough patches that come to us near and by far. A sense of humor is really needed. As a tightrope walker needs a pole that helps to keep us well balanced. It can cheer and make joyful the soul. A sense of humor is necessary, as yeast is to the rising of bread. When raising our voices in laughter, happiness to others will spread. A sense of humor is important. The Bible, in Proverbs, we read, "A merry heart does good like medicine," which is very good medicine indeed. Joseph Epstein wrote, "We do not choose to be born. We do not choose our parents or siblings or our times or country of birth, or the circumstances of our upbringing. We do not, most of us, choose to die, or the time or conditions of our death. But within all this realm of choicelessness, we do choose how we shall live, courageously or in cowardice, honorably or dishonorably, with purpose or adrift. We decide what is important and what is trivial. What makes us significant is what we do or refuse to do. We decide and we choose, and so we give definition to our lives." Well, if you knew Shirley, you knew that her life was quite challenging, but she persevered. And I understand from what I learned about her, she gave great definition to her life. And yet, when this time comes, it's difficult. We never really want to say goodbye to somebody that we love so much. Many find comfort when turning to the book of Psalms. Psalm 121. I will lift up mine eyes unto the mountains. From whence shall my help come? My help cometh from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel doth neither slumber nor sleep. In your service folders, you find the 23rd Psalm, a psalm that I think speaks to all of us, regardless of our faith or tradition. So I'd like to invite all of you here, as well as those of you joining us remotely, to join with me in reciting the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guideth me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. when I asked Gerald, what would you say your mom was most passionate about? Her answer was her family. And this unknown author wrote this beautiful poem entitled The Greatest Gift. One of the greatest gifts that life can give to anyone is the very special love that families share. As years go by, it's good to know that there will always be certain people in our lives who care. For there are countless things that only families have in common and memories that no one else can make. And these precious ties that bind a family together are bonds that time and distance cannot break. How fortunate we are when we have relatives to love us. It makes the world a happy place to be. Few gifts in life will last as long or touch the heart as deeply as the very special gift of family. As I mentioned, we have several speakers. It is my honor to call upon our first speaker, Nancy.
Disgusting. I understand.
My mother was very loved, and not just by her family. She loved people. She loved getting to know people, not just who they were on the surface, but really know them. She truly deeply cared about the people in her life. She would delight in befriending new people, and when she did, she would share a sincere piece of herself to form a true connection. My mom was great at telling fanciful stories, but she was also a compassionate listener. She maintained a sense of humor and a sense of play throughout her long life, attributes I admired. At heart, my mother was a peacemaker. She wanted everyone to get along and saw everyone's side of any situation. Mom loved the city of Chicago, and she was passionate about attending as many cultural events as she could squeeze into a day. She preferred to share this joy with others, but never hesitated to venture out on her own. Mom was a voracious reader who never stopped seeking knowledge. She was curious, compassionate, and loving. Accumulating possessions was far down on her list of life's priorities. Instead, she strove to accumulate knowledge, to experience the vast tastes that life had to offer, and sharing her wonderment of it all with all those she loved, as well as anyone whose heart she may have touched. Shirley, my beloved mother, cared about what really mattered in life, and she will be deeply missed by me and so many who loved her. I have been deeply touched over these past years by the many caregivers who truly loved her. Thank you. Your heart and compassion will always be remembered. Thank you all for coming today.
And now it's my honor to call upon Janice, her niece.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's what Aunt Shirley would say when she would see you. If she was going to see you. If she just saw you. If you told her what your kids were doing. If you told her what you were doing. If you were going to the store to buy a loaf of bread. And especially if you were going to take a photo. And she would mean it. She made you feel like you gave her the thrill of her day, her week, her year, just from hearing your voice or seeing your face. You were her daughter even if you weren't her daughter. She said our mother, her sister, was like a mother to her, and everyone was her friend. She welcomed us to open arms, to the house on Pratt, with a painting that reminded me of West Side Story, and Katrinka the dog, and later to the condo on Randolph, where she spent many happy years with Mel. She had a very challenging childhood, but somehow she did not become a cynical person. She remained positive and optimistic and took great joy in life. She wanted to share that joy with you too, insisting you must visit the Art Institute and the Chicago Cultural Center. She inspired the unflagging dedication of Daryl and John in taking care of her in her declining years. Daryl was constantly making sure she had the very best care and saw to her every need. And John was right there with her, taking Shirley where she needed to go, and playing many games of gin rummy, which Shirley very much enjoyed. Whether he let her win or she let him win is an open question. If I were to think of what Shirley would like us to do in her absence and in her honor, it would be to appreciate and to show that appreciation to those whom we love and all whom we meet. Let them know you love them, that you are delighted to see them, that they mean so very much to you. Wonderful, wonderful.
And now it's my honor to call upon David.
Hi, my name's David Holm, and I'm a nephew. And I had two moms, both named Shirley. I had little Shirley, this is a big Shirley, who was about 1.5 inches taller, as I realized when I looked at old pictures. And we were neighbors. 2939? 2911. We were that close on Pratt Avenue. Same house. Fathers and brothers. And your father was there more than my father. And he came home at night. My dad worked late, or whatever the hell he was doing. But Marvin, and there were no boys around the house. So I livened it up a little bit. And we had grandparents that would lock away, that everybody was at our family of cousins. We had 12. And once the grandparents left, the family kind of didn't have a meeting place. I was fortunate. I was actually a caregiver after I retired. And one of my clients lived downtown, or had a business downtown. I had a chance to visit Shirley for the first time. I was in her condo, and I didn't realize it had been 42 years. Or she had lived in the condo 42 years. I was never there. And I had taken the opportunity to go visit. And from that point on, I was, in touch. Chair broke, the glass broke. And I want to make you liver and onions. She had to make me lunch. And when I took her to Manny's, and we, just had a good time with talking about food. And she might have been, short-term lapses, but long-term, we could have a very good conversation. Extremely important to me because she's my last link to the family. And she helped little Shirley when I had my little problems, and little Shirley had to tell my father. She would go to Big Shirley and say, what's Hillary gonna do? And she would have to coach my mother to make sure I wasn't in big trouble. And very special person to everybody here. And hard to say this, but my favorite aunt. And if if you would have known the other competition, you would, agree. And unfortunately, I had her right down the street. And it's a sad day, but it's a nice day that people can get together and have the same memories, probably, of the same person that we all remember.
And now it's my honor to call upon Lizzie.
Hi everyone, I'm Lizzie, I'm Carol's granddaughter. I was so lucky to have spent time with Shirley in her later years. Soon after she turned 90, Daryl called me up and asked if I would go and visit Shirley once a week and spend some time with her while Daryl was in California. I of course said yes, and those weekly visits quickly became both mine and my husband's favorite time of the week. For any of you who have heard Shirley talk about the pilot she adored so much, that was my husband, by the way. Our weekly visits were so much fun, filled with so much laughter, deep discussions about every topic under the sun. There was never a lull in the conversation and in the fun, and it always ended with a few very competitive rounds of bottle. Shirley's positivity and zest for life was absolutely wonderful to be around. She was unlike any 90-year-old I had ever met. She always said, the more you do, the more you can do, and that was so true for Shirley. As mentioned before, she loved going down to the cultural center, taking classes, listening to concerts. She loved telling you about what she had done that week and the things she had learned. But more than anything else, Shirley loved to get to know you. She wanted to know everything about you and your family. She asked question after question, and sure, she repeated a few of them more than once, but it was because she cared so much to know who you were as a person. Speaking of family, one of my biggest joys was watching Shirley meet all four of the great-grandsons from infancy on. When each of the boys were babies, she always had to hold the baby, get a picture of that day with the baby, and ask her infamous question, can I take him home with me? Shirley would jokingly call Daryl her mother. Made us all laugh, but reflecting on it today, I know it came from a place of such love. Daryl, you took such good care of Shirley each and every day. She was so lucky to have you and John by her side. I'd like to end with sharing Shirley's mantra, wonderful, 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 which has become a household saying in our home too. Everything was so wonderful, it had to be said more than once. Shirley, knowing you has been wonderful, 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 and we will miss you very much.
And last but not least, it's my honor to call upon Stacy. Hi, I'm Stacy, and when my father-in-law Dick and Daryl were married, we had not only the wonderful addition of a wonderful stepmother, but a beautiful addition of having Shirley in our lives. And she has attended our family get-togethers for all these years, and oh boy, were we blessed with that. So when I was asking the family their input of some words to describe Shirley and their memories, you're going to hear a lot of repeats of what you've already heard today, because Shirley was so consistent with always smiling and optimistic, her zest for life, her sparkle in her eyes, how she radiated warmth and kindness. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful came up not only from Lizzie, but from Alex, so included that as well, and wanted to enjoying it so much. What movie you'd seen, and what was some of your favorite things about the city. We wanted to know why of each of those, not just to ask, but to really understand where you were coming from. But the one thing that really stood out for me when I first met Shirley was how in awe I was of her passion for learning. You're going to hear a lot of similarities again, but she attended the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute at Northwestern of all types of classes. She did adult study patient programs at college campuses around the country with Mel. She was a volunteer at the Art Institute to teach about paintings and just came home glowing if she had a chance to talk with a large group of people to bring this painting to life. And then, of course, as you've heard about the Cultural Center, when she first heard that I had never been there, before we were allowed to leave that night, we had a date on the calendar of when she was going to take me to the Cultural Center. And my treasured memory is not only just about, of course, the beautiful architecture that holds, but seeing Shirley be so full of pride, sharing it, and joy to share that with somebody else. And that's what she loved so much, is to learn, but also to share that then. She would attend classes and lectures at the Cultural Center endlessly. It was right down the street from where she lived. And no matter the topic, she wanted to be there to learn. As her memory started to fade, one of my favorite things that I remember her saying was that she had so much fun learning the information as it goes in. Who cares if she doesn't remember, well, what it was when she was walking out? And I just admired her so much about just continuing to go and learn more and more. My daughter Alex and I, we had a high tea with Shirley one afternoon, and it's one of the things that we treasure and especially say most is always Shirley's philosophy that she shared with us that day was always eat dessert first. And then went on to say about always make it a priority to have fun and sweetness in our lives. When we asked her about the secret of a long life, she said, always keep learning and having fun. Shirley's love for her city and being in the heart of everything, right in where she lived, literally in the middle of everything, that's where she wanted to be, especially in these later years. And it was only because of Daryl and your endless devotion of taking care of her every detail that allowed her to stay in the apartment that she so loved, in the city that she so loves. Daryl and John, you have served as such a beautiful role model for our family of what it means to really take care of somebody when they're in the most need. And I thank you for doing that. Shirley, as I said, was such a beautiful, special addition to our family. We will all miss her beautiful smile and such warmth and kind heart. So I said to Daryl when we spoke, I would like to speak last and not take away from what others who knew Shirley might have to say. And I'll fill in whatever blanks might be left. There are a lot of blanks. I think we all heard what an incredible woman Shirley was. She was also a loving daughter to Hiram and Fanny, a loving sister to the late Joseph and late Leslie. She was very close with her sister especially. I think it's worth repeating some of these adjectives that we've heard about Shirley, just so that you keep this vivid picture in your mind of who she was, and in no particular order, how she was just so strong, very intelligent, generous, energetic, positive, appreciative, social, kind-hearted, funny, beautiful on the inside and the outside, friendly, frugal for herself, right? That she would be so generous to give to you, and how loving and caring she was. I understand she won a beauty contest back in high school, and it was with natural beauty. She didn't have to wear a lot of makeup. She put on a little lipstick. That's all she needed. In her youth, she played tennis. Throughout her life, I understand she always kept herself in good shape. She exercised regularly. Not only did she love babies, but she loved dogs, and I understand she had many dogs throughout her life. And talk about sweets. I understand she was a chocoholic. A lot of people can fit into that category. She truly enjoyed the arts, not just going to the Art Institute, but she enjoyed classical music, opera, going to the theater. She liked to dance. We heard over and over about her love of learning and reading and being involved in book clubs and discussion groups, taking courses on the TV. I didn't know there were courses that one can take on the TV, but apparently there were, and she took them. She just enjoyed learning, whether it was at the Cultural Arts Center or at a synagogue. She had involvement in a few synagogues, Kol Ami, Temple Sholem, and the Loop Synagogue. Judaism was a part of her life. She was proud to be Jewish. I think above all, Shirley was loved, and she gave so much love. In spite of her challenging life, Shirley always had a smile on her face. I said to Daryl, it sounds like she made lemonade out of lemons. Yeah, she did. Her needs were simple, and she was always so appreciative of wherever she was, and with the cards that she was dealt. And they weren't always such beautiful cards. And you know what I mean by that. What a wonderful role model she was. She never complained. Nothing was ever too much for Shirley. If you needed her, sure, she'd be there for you, happily. And you knew that you were loved by her. And she expressed her love both physically and verbally. As a lifelong learner, Shirley would have loved to have been a professional student. She lived a full life and truly made the most of her 98 years that she was granted. And she was blessed with loving care, especially these past several years from Daryl and John, and as well from her caregivers, Cynthia and Ruth. Caregivers who I think many can say are like angels. People don't always get a wonderful caregiver, let alone two wonderful caregivers. Shirley treated her caregivers like they were part of the family, just like all of you, whether you were a relative or a friend, someone who lived in her building. We have a lot of people here from the building. Anybody here from her building? And some, I'm sure, joining us online. So, many of us believe that our spirit, our soul, can live on door by door, meaning from generation to generation. And the way that we believe that our soul or our spirit can live on door by door is by those of us who are still here, continue to share the stories, the memories. And I say take it a step further, document all these wonderful memories that you have, especially those who we've heard from today. Write them down. Find a variety of ways great life, and she was there for her children, for her family, for her friends, her neighbors, and all who knew her were so blessed. So cherish your memories. Zecher Tzadik Livracha, the memory of the righteous is forever a blessing. And to that we say, Amen. The dust returns to the earth as it was. The spirit returns to God who gave it. It is only the house of the spirit which we will now lay within the earth. The spirit itself cannot die. We pray thee, O God, to receive in mercy the soul of our departed Shirley Homer. David Harkins wrote, "You can shed tears that she is gone, or you can smile because she lived. You can close your eyes and pray that she will come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that she has left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see her, or you can be full of the love that you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember her and only that she is gone, or you can cherish her memory and let it live on. You can cry and close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you could do what she would want. Smile. Open your eyes. Love. And go on. I invite you to turn back to your service folders. Underneath the 23rd Psalm, you find El Male Rachamim, and then our concluding prayer on the back cover, the mourner's Kaddish. It is customary to rise for these two prayers, so if you are able to rise, I invite you to please rise. Let us Join together in reading the translation of El Malay Rachamim. Compassionate God, eternal spirit of the universe, grant rest in your sheltering presence to Shirley Homer, who has entered eternity. O God of mercy, let her find refuge in your eternal presence, and let her soul be bound up in the bond of everlasting life. God is her inheritance. May she rest in peace, and let us say, Amen. So we turn now to the back cover where you find the mourner's cottage. All right, they're going to decide to do this now. So we'll say cottage without noise. So if you'd like to sit for a moment while they seal the vault, then we'll say cottage once in a while. Reciting the mourner's cottage on the back cover of your service folders. It is said that the angels brought this prayer down from heaven it possesses wonderful power. Truly, if there is any bond strong enough to link heaven to earth, it is this prayer. Many believe that this prayer speaks about death because we always recite it at a funeral, or the yard site, the anniversary of one's death. But actually, there's no reference to death. Rather, we affirm God's glory and omnipotence. So, if you are able to stand, I invite you to please rise as together we will exalt God's name with these traditional words of the mourner's cottage. It is written in transliteration for those who do not know how to read Hebrew. However, even the transliteration is sometimes challenging. There are several times throughout the prayer where we say the word Amen, which is a form of affirmation. I will nod my head at those times so that if you'd like to at least participate, when we say the word Amen, you will be able to. We join together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad yivrach Yerushay v'yamlich malchutay, v'chayechol v'yomechol, uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'adalah u'bizman kari v'iru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah, mivarach le'olam ulamei amayah. Yiparach v'yishhabach, v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yishnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei d'kudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imeru. Amen. Yehei shalama rabbah min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. May the author of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all the bereaved among us. And to that we say, Amen. For those of us who are buried here and not in Israel, we bring a little Israel here with some holy earth from the Mount Olives in Jerusalem, Israel. I'd like to ask that Nancy and Daryl and John and David and Stacy and Lizzie come forward, and I'll sprinkle some of this holy earth into your hands and invite you to place this holy earth into the grave. After you place the holy earth into the grave, I'd like you all to lead everyone who's here in the traditional 3 shovels or 3 handfuls of earth. We have a couple of shovels on each side of the grave. There is a custom that we do 3 shovels. When you're done with the 3rd shovel, place the shovel back in the mound of earth. We never pass the shovel. The reason we never pass the shovel is that we would hope that each individual participates in this mitzvah, this good deed. Some say this is the greatest mitzvah of all. That people would do this from their own free will. Doesn't matter how much earth you get on the shovel, or if you turn the shovel upside down. You might see some people turning the shovel upside down, perhaps for the first of the 3 shovels, which makes it more difficult to shovel, and it's symbolic of how difficult it is to bury somebody that we love. There's no right or wrong way. Whatever you want to do is fine, just don't pass the shovel when you're done with the 3rd shovel. lines on both sides of the grave, the ground is not level, and standing on wood is not always great either. So just be careful how you walk. We don't want anybody to fall or get injured. You can start coming forward. Shirley. They will be using the tractor once again to fill in the rest of the grade. If that's not something you want to stay for, you do not have to stay. You can return to your cars. Please cherish all your wonderful memories of Shirley, and thank you again for coming.